Welcome back to the Cosmic Awakening podcast. I am Makāula Nakae, a lifelong experiencer and ET contactee since 1990. I have a wealth of insights and stories to share from decades of lived experiences spanning spiritual, interdimensional, and extraterrestrial contacts. Cosmic Awakening Part 2, 2012 Ascension Syndrome, The Golden Alchemy. Chapter 2, Trinity. Episode 5, Roswell, the site of the UFO Crash. Roswell, renowned as the epicenter of the UFO crash, beckoned us forth on a journey spanning approximately 4 hours and 30 minutes by car from Albuquerque. Despite the absence of direct flights from Albuquerque to Roswell, we later learned of flights from Texas to our destination. Our route led us southward along the freeway before veering eastward onto the highway. En route, we passed by White Sands, the historic site of the world's inaugural atomic bomb test, conducted at the Trinity test site. Though I harbored a fleeting desire to pause and pay homage to this historic landmark, the opportunity slipped by as the car surged ahead, rendering a detour impractical. With White Sands fading in the rearview mirror, we pressed onward, traversing the terrain where the notorious outlaw Billy the Kid once sought refuge, until finally arriving in Roswell, shortly after noon. Before venturing into the heart of Roswell, we made a pit stop at a gas station for a much-needed restroom break. However, as I stood amidst the throng of patrons, I found myself the object of curious gazes. Was it my towering stature or my East Asian heritage that elicited such scrutiny? I stood out, not conforming to the stereotype of a diminutive Asian. The human psyche often reacts warily to the unfamiliar, struggling to reconcile the surreal with reality. I pondered how one might react to an encounter with extraterrestrial beings. Would the visual disparity between our preconceptions and their alien visage induce shock or disbelief? Recalling a previous encounter with an otherworldly being in Honolulu, whose eyes defied earthly norms with their stark black hue, I fled into panic, unable to reconcile incongruity. The infamous UFO incident that catapulted Roswell to global fame transpired on July 7, 1947, when an unidentified flying object crashed in a remote ranching area, approximately 70 miles from the city. Reports suggested that the U.S. military recovered the bodies or survivors of extraterrestrial beings accompanying the spacecraft. The Roswell Army Airfield, later known as Walker Air Force Base, was initially embroiled in the incident. A press release on July 8 initially confirmed the recovery of a crashed flying saucer, sparking a media frenzy. However, subsequent retractions attributed the incident to a weather balloon, prompting skepticism and relegating the Roswell incident to the fringes of UFO research. In 1978, physicist and UFO researcher Stanton Friedman divulged to Major Jesse Marcell, a key figure at the 1947 crash site, that the U.S. military was concealing the recovery of the spacecraft. This revelation swiftly circulated among UFO enthusiasts. By 1980, an interview with Colonel Marcell appeared in the National Enquirer, reigniting global interest in the Roswell incident. Additional eyewitness testimonies surfaced, alleging a widespread military operation spanning up to 11 retrieval sites, with witnesses facing government threats. Subsequently, in 1989, former mortician Glenn Dennis disclosed details of an alleged alien autopsy conducted within an Air Force base. Despite subsequent efforts by the government to disseminate fabricated information, a government insider leaked classified data in the early 1990s, including a document known as Majestic 12. Formed by the shadow government, Majestic 12 aimed to suppress and distort UFO information, ensuring it remained concealed from the public eye. For enthusiasts of American UFO lore, Roswell holds a sacred allure, beckoning exploration at least once. The city's mystique was immortalized through the 1994 TV miniseries Roswell, featuring Kyle MacLachlan and Martin Sheen, garnering acclaim and a Golden Globe nomination. The subsequent television series Taken, crafted by Steven Spielberg, delved into UFOs, generational abductions, government cover-ups, and alien-human hybrids, captivating audiences with its compelling narrative. Despite initial skepticism from God's hands about the city's offerings, my experience in Roswell surpassed expectations. While the town may lack conventional attractions, its palpable ET vibrations imbued a sense of lightness and joy. These elevated vibrations heightened my awareness, fostering a deeper connection with my surroundings. As my senses became attuned to the subtle nuances of energy, I reveled in the unique ambience of Roswell, finding solace in its otherworldly allure. For instance, individuals of Hawaiian heritage emit distinctive vibrations, just as ascended masters or beings of light possess their specific frequencies. The ET wave carries a metallic essence, resonating with a refined, high-pitched frequency. The surroundings are being delicately washed by something wonderful and subtle, perhaps owing to the sheer finesse of these waves. The question arises, are the ET vibrations inherent to the land of Roswell, or do visitors who flock to the city for its sacred UFO mythology bring these vibrations with them? Regardless of the answer, Roswell is a beacon for those drawn to UFOs and extraterrestrial phenomena, naturally amplifying its resonance with ET vibrations. The focal point of Roswell's tourism is undoubtedly the UFO Museum, housed within a renovated old movie theater, with plans underway to construct a new museum with a modern aesthetic. The museum boasts various exhibits spanning the history of Roswell, revelations behind government cover-ups, models of crash sites, photos from recovery missions, depictions of unearthly metals discovered at these sites, and engravings depicting symbols found on these artifacts. Additionally, there are 3D models of sites, sketches by contactees, and representations of aliens based on abductees' accounts. Notably, a replica of an alien corpse featured in the Roswell TV movie captivates visitors, with its lifelike appearance conveying telepathic communication through vibrations that resonate in both ears, facilitating the transmission of thoughts. Across the United States, petroglyphs bearing star-being motifs adorn caves and rock walls, complemented by rock carvings by indigenous tribes worldwide. The Aborigines, renowned for their telepathic prowess, assert their ancestral ties to the Pleiades. Similarly, ancient Hawaiian culture maintains a profound connection with the Pleiades, as depicted in petroglyphs throughout Hawaii. The portrayal of spacecraft in photographs has evolved significantly, transitioning from traditional saucer-like forms to more complex designs, including squares, triangles, and even bioorganic structures. Exhibits at the museum also include diagrams illustrating the flight paths of unidentified flying objects observed around Tsushima, an island north of Kyushu, suggesting the presence of energy lines traversing the waters between Kyushu and Tsushima. Additionally, one crop circle image showcased at the museum conveys the golden rule. While these displays may not cater to the average visitor seeking conventional entertainment, they offer a glimpse into phenomena that transcend the ordinary, inviting contemplation and curiosity. It felt like stepping into a playful toy box. Despite it being a Sunday, we anticipated crowds, yet only a handful of visitors, perhaps fewer than 15, graced the museum during our visit. Given the museum's location, visitors were either deeply intrigued by UFO-related topics or stumbled upon it by chance. Despite not knowing them, I felt a peculiar camaraderie with my fellow museum-goers. Throughout the town of Roswell, numerous stores boasted collections of alien-themed merchandise. While many products such as t-shirts, magazines, and vinyl alien dolls were consistent across different stores, perusing through each establishment was an enjoyable experience. Roswell's flat landscape and bold atmosphere exuded a somewhat eccentric vibe, yet it possessed a charm that beckoned one to linger, offering a pleasant respite even without specific activities. Though I had hoped to visit the crash site, conflicting directions deterred me from pursuing it further. As the western sun cast its warm glow upon the streets of Roswell, we embarked on our journey back to Albuquerque. A growing anticipation stirred within me at the prospect of visiting the Trinity test site. To be continued. Watch and listen. Watch the cinematic video trailer. Listen to the full podcast now. Explore the Archive Cosmic Awakening, Part 1, Sacred Valley of the Incas. Volume 2, Ascension 2012, The Golden Alchemy. Part 3, The First Contact. Join the journey. New episodes drop periodically. Each chapter delivers a tight, hyper-focused 10 to 30-minute hit of real-life experiences, perfect for your daily plunge into consciousness exploration. Subscribe to support your inner development. Thumbs up to help push our channel through the algorithm. Comment below. Share your thoughts on today's exploration.